Just like I said needed to happen, happened. You're going to have to make the New York Knicks play your game. That Cleveland Cavaliers style of basketball that has gotten you to this point all season. That's what you're going to have to do. This was an all hands on deck effort. And the good news is Donovan Mitchell didn't even have to do much. You see what happens when everybody steps up and puts their hand in and contributes? You build on something monumental. 17-point win, 107-90. Cleveland Cavaliers over the Knicks to tie the series at one game apiece, heading into New York for Game 3 on Friday. The bench stepped up for maybe from a rebounds and a defensive effort, but let's just look at it. Evan Mobley had 13 points. Jaron Allen had 9 points, but he had 10 rebounds. Evan Mobley had 13 rebounds. Garland, the player of the game, finished with 32.7 assists. Donovan Mitchell had 17. But let me just tell you who the unsung hero of the Cleveland Cavaliers were tonight. The unsung hero was Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert balled out tonight. 24 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and you just can't say enough. Now you're going to have to match this intensity heading into Game 3 because let me tell you something. Playoff basketball in New York is like a kid at Christmas time, man. They ripping, they aggressive. The fans are crazy. It's wild in New York when the Knicks make the playoffs. And trust and believe, they're going to be out there in droves. You got to be prepared for that. You got to be prepared to match that intensity. Now, what I will say, if you're a Knicks fan, you got to be a little concerned. Julius Randle kind of hobbled out at the end of the fourth after a bad, he might have got hurt again. I'm not sure what happened, but he did finish tonight with 22 points, and Jalen Brunson followed that up with 20. Emmanuel Quickley had 12 off the bench, and R.J. Barrett had 14, so look for New York. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with Julius Randle, if he'll be okay. Because I know he's been battling ankle injuries all season. Jalen Brunson is going to do what he do. You can't stop Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson has been a monster. And it's kind of ironic because Donovan Mitchell actually was thought to go to New York, but the Knicks ended up getting Jalen Brunson. We Cavaliers ended up getting Mitchell, and everything worked out. Jalen Brunson is still trying to prove that he's the best player in this series, so you got to be prepared, man. You got to match that intensity. You got that must-win tonight to tie the series and get back in it, but let's see if you can keep that, if you can match that. That grit, those active hands, they cut off a lot of the passing lanes, forced a lot of turnovers. The defense was exceptional tonight. The Knicks had 18 turnovers. Cleveland was able to capitalize with 29 points off those turnovers. They actually controlled the fast pace. 18 fast break points, and New York actually Cleveland actually scored New York in the paint by 4. They were down by as many as 8. Then they just flipped that switch on and went up by as many as 29. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens in Game 3. I'm kind of excited. Cleveland just shot the lights out. They also shot 49% field goal and shot 33 of 14 from 3. That's 42%. Just an excellent effort all around by this team and a much better effort from Game 1. I think that was a learning experience, man. You got to understand this is still a young team. Still a young team. And they're still learning. So you got to enjoy the ride as a fan and be patient. We'll get there eventually. I'm Rico McGee. This has been the Sports Minute. And as always, we'll see you in a minute.